shortly. When we started putting this project together with the city, we identified some key things that we wanted to address. And for anybody familiar with the CARE initiative that Miramar's put together, it's a set of objectives and principles of how the city wants to run the city better for its citizens. And we tried to make sure that our project was aligned with that. So we had goals of modernizing equipment, improving operational performance, finding opportunities in these developments to help develop staff, obviously reduce energy consumption and environmental impact, and ultimately help provide some budget certainty by being able to reduce cost of operations by putting in new equipment and more efficient equipment. And the project that we're putting together, these efficiencies, Siemens will actually guarantee these efficiencies. And that if these efficiencies are not met, then we're going to pay the city back for any shortfalls on an annual basis until the project is paid off. And so that's something that's kind of unique about how we partner with cities. But one of the other things is, from a stakeholder standpoint, and really highlighting this local economic development is an area that we can focus on. First of all, for those who don't know, Siemens is a local business. Our South Florida headquarters is less than 2 miles from here in Miramar, and so we're a proud Miramar business citizen as well as you. And one thing that I can tell you that we've been so impressed with here at the city is how engaged they are and concerned they are about the health of the local business community. I work with cities all over the state, and certainly every city has a focus on economic development because it's a crucial part of the health of any city and community. But I've never seen an organization quite as focused on it as Miramar is. And so for all of you local businesses, I feel very fortunate that you're located in a city that has such a strong interest towards your success. So as we started developing the project, we kind of identified who are the stakeholders that we need to be touching within this project. And that we understand, obviously, the local chamber, city procurement, local businesses, Miramar citizens in general, Siemens procurement, and economic business and development departments here within the city. And you go, well, how are city and Siemens procurement stakeholders here? Aren't we the ones, looking for things from you? Well, the fact of the matter is that we look for and struggle to find good local subcontractors all the time. And so part of this event is to begin to connect and look for aligning some of your companies with opportunities within this project. The bigger concern and objective is to start building a relationship between your organizations and Siemens, which Chris will talk about later, because we are constantly in need of local subcontractors to support all of the work that we do in South Florida. And we just don't have enough good subcontractors right now. And so this is not just an opportunity for a one-time project, but hopefully to build a relationship with Siemens and to help you grow and be successful and help us grow and be successful. So again, I cannot thank everybody enough for being here today. And now I'm going to kind of turn things over to Chris to talk specifically about this project and larger engagements with the Siemens organization.
Thanks, Brian. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Chris Fernandez. I am the local field procurement manager for Siemens. What that means is I help our local branch that Brian just mentioned is about 2 miles away, as well as some of our other branches within the state, manage their subcontractors, right? And that's all of you. I also help our energy performance team, which is what Brian is a part of and what this project is a part of, right? Help our energy performance team perform some of their projects as well, all up and down the Southeast. So I have a fairly large territory, but this territory here is near and dear to my heart because I grew up about 4 minutes away, close to this local Miramar branch, and went to school here. And so this is an important one for me. I want to talk a little bit about the energy performance side of things, which again is what brought us all together, right? It's what the project is about. And so in these types of projects, we typically see trades such as HVAC, mechanical, HVAC electrical, right? Low voltage, high voltage, EV charging, lighting, water retrofits, all of those different types of trades we see within these projects, and it all ties into the energy of the building, right? So those are the types of trades that we'll typically see on our energy projects. And I'm going to be a little bit selfish here and jump to the local branch needs in a second, because, you know, in my opinion, that's how we're going to develop a stronger relationship, because our local branch is going to significantly and consistently need, as Brian's mentioned, need subcontractors at the local level. So first I'll talk about what you can expect when you're working with Siemens. A couple of those things are, you know, open bidding for projects both in the sales phase and in the execution phase, right? So projects that we've either won or that we're going after as a partner. And it all depends at the local level on where we are in that sales strategy, right? Bidding based off of plans, specs, scope of work, that's standard for our line of business, so you guys will see that pretty consistently. Fair and equal right to win projects. I'm going to stop here because that's so important to me as a procurement person, is to ensure I don't just work for Siemens. A lot of the times I work for you guys on the subcontracting side as well, right? And my goal is to make sure that you have a fair shot at the projects that are out there, right? We need to make sure that we are developing our local partners, because you're such a significant part of how we do business. And you're such a significant part of how all of these projects actually get done, right? So we want to make sure that you have a fair and equal shot at those projects. One of the ways that we do that is through our online bidding process, right? So one of the things that we do is we make sure that everyone has all of the documentation, all of the RFP, all at the same time, right? Nobody's getting it on the side right before, through an email or anything like that. You're getting it all at once on an online bidding platform, and you can see everything at the same time. And the last thing you can expect when you're bidding with us is feedback, right? That's an important thing for you to make sure, and especially when you're starting out with Siemens, we'll probably have a lot more conversations about how to make sure that you're being competitive within your space, right? Within your trade, to help you win more projects. That's our goal, is to help you develop, help you grow. When you're contracted with Siemens, zero harm culture. So that's a Siemens saying. We typically start a lot of our meetings with a safety moment. Safety is job site safety, office safety. All of those things are so very important to Siemens. So that's one of the things that you'll expect, and you'll see on your job sites. You'll see safety check-ins, you know, toolbox talks right before the day. All of those things, you'll see that stuff. Training on both the Siemens systems, online and on the job, right? We'll have some Siemens employees there. Typically, when we get a subcontractor going, we'll see a Siemens technician there to help with some of the transition pieces of maybe you have experience with a different technology, and this one's very similar. Siemens will help kind of guide you through that piece. And then dedicated project managers, and the last thing that I do want to mention is Siemens, and I handle these personally. We do have 3-year master contracts with our subcontractors, so that's kind of the goal, right? That's how we develop our subs, is we want to get them further and further into the process, and get them to a point where we can trust them for a full 3-year term and make sure that we're issuing them contracts and issuing them projects consistently. The last thing I want to just touch on, and again, I'm being a little selfish here, Brian, but our local branch is always in need of new contractors, right? That's how we grow, that's how you guys grow, and that's how more buildings get built, is by continuing to do more projects. So we are always looking for building automation and controls installers, right? So low voltage electrical, that is a very, very significant piece of our subcontracting. Fire alarm install, security install, structured cabling, all of that low voltage type of stuff, along with lighting retrofits and mechanical retrofits, right? Insulation, sheet metal, all of those different things that go into an HVAC system. So those are a lot of the things that we're looking for. And then real quick, I'll touch on some of the stuff that we didn't see on the slides or didn't have on the slides, right? So general contracting, engineering, a lot of those other auxiliary pieces, we might not do it all the time, but there's always a customer that has some kind of specific need. And if you can fill that need, we want to make sure that we have that contact, right? So if my contact information is all in our packets that you guys have received. So if we don't get a chance to talk today and you guys can kind of tell me a little bit about what you do, feel free to reach out directly. That's what I'm here for, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you if we don't get a chance to connect today. So thank you. Who are we transitioning to? Iowa? Okay. Transition over to Iowa.
Thank you. Sorry, definitely not a microphone person. Thank you.
All right, so all of y'all should have gotten an email from me, or at least RSVP with me. So again, my name is Iowa Chang. I actually manage our supplier diversity program at a national level, but I focus on a localized program. So everything I do is always local to the area. So specifically for this project and for Chris and Brian, what I'm working on is looking at Miramar-based businesses, Broward County-based businesses. I'm not looking at businesses that are based in Georgia or the next states over, because really we want to keep these opportunities local. What the figures are on the screen, they are going to be at a national level. However, again, we focus really on the localized program. Just to give you an idea, in FY20 at a national level, Siemens Industry Inc., we spent over $400 million with small and diverse businesses. Our branches in Florida spent over $9 million with small and diverse businesses. And then our local branch, the Miramar branch, 5 minutes from here? 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Spent 26.7% of their annual purchasing volume with small and diverse businesses. This gives you an idea that this is something that we are truly committed to. It's not a program that you can build overnight. It takes time. It takes time to develop the subcontractors and to develop those relationships. It may not be from this event that you possibly get a contract. However, continue to develop that relationship. Work with Chris, talk to Chris. Chris sees other projects in the region as well as in the state. So continue to develop that relationship. Some of these projects do take a long time to develop, so it can be a little while before you might see a contract, or that Chris has a project that you're really good fit for to bid on. So these are just some of our numbers. We've hosted since 2015. I've hosted over 30 in-person outreach events, again, across the country. We've done quite a few here in Florida. I don't have one here, but we've done an open house in our Miramar branch, a couple throughout Broward County, a couple throughout the state. So really focused on local small businesses, local diverse businesses. Because again, when the opportunities stay in the city or the municipality, it really helps to develop that area. It's really, we're talking about the business development, bettering the place where you live, where you spend a lot of your time. So with that, just wanted to reemphasize it's ingrained in our processes and our corporate culture. I work with Chris and his counterparts at the national level. So I do see a lot of the opportunities that are outside of the state. We don't want to, we're not trying to say that we want to pull your experiences to other states. We want you to really work on projects that are local to where you are based. But there are those opportunities as well. So with that, I think that's my piece. I think we will pass it on. I think so. Yes. Okay, I think we will pass it on to Clea.
Good afternoon. I'm Leah Duriel. I'm the Assistant City Engineer here at the City of Miramar. And just like Siemens discussed some of their upcoming opportunities, we have a couple of separate upcoming opportunities here at the city. These are all capital improvement projects, roadway projects specifically. So for all of my design contractors out there and all of my subs, this is for you. So the projects that I'm going to be talking about are the projects associated with the transportation surtax. A lot of you may know that Broward County passed a penny for transportation. You see it coming up in your tax receipts, and this is for funding specifically transportation-related projects. We are securing some of this funding at the city, and these are the projects that we have upcoming for you guys to be able to bid on. The first and most major project that we have upcoming is Pembroke Road. This extension is going to be from where Pembroke Road ends currently at 196th Ave. I'll bring up a map here. Pembroke Road right now ends at 196th Ave. We're going to be taking it all the way out to US 27. So, but we're not only extending that as a 4-lane typical section, we're going to be widening the area of Pembroke Road that is currently existing in a 2-lane format from 160th, which is Dykes, all the way out to 196th. In conjunction with this project, what you'll see in blue is the extension of Miramar Parkway up to meet Pembroke Road. So that's bending around north. That's going to provide an additional emergency egress for traffic in the event of hurricanes and things like that. So that's the basics of this project. This is a design scope. So for all my designers out there, or even if you're a sub that works in, say, geotechnical engineering, or you specialize in traffic control plans, you may want to look at getting with a prime to get yourself a piece of this job. Estimated contract cost is $5.9 million, so it's a nice chunk of change out there for you guys. And one of the things that's special about these surtax projects is any project that is over $250,000 is eligible for the 30% Cbe SBE goal. If you're not familiar with these programs, I would encourage you to talk to the Office of Economic and Business Development with Broward County. These are certifications that are put out specifically by the county to certify you as a county business enterprise or as a small business enterprise. So you can work with them, get yourself certified so that by the time these come out, you guys are eligible and you can either go after this job as a prime or go after it as a sub. The Cbe goal that we are targeting is 30%, which is a lot higher than the state goal, which for example right now I think is around 8 or 10 or 12, somewhere in there. So there's lots of opportunity for small businesses and county businesses to be able to get involved in these projects. The next one that we have coming up for you guys is a bus shelter improvement project. This is citywide, so there are going to be 13 permanent bus shelters. This also is a design scope project. So designers are going to be designing a large style shelter and a small style shelter, and it'll be cookie cutter to be placed at various locations around the city of Miramar. This estimated cost is $144,000 of design fee, and it is anticipated to let in spring of 2022. So coming up relatively close for you guys. The third project that we have coming up is, again, a design scope, the design of buffered bike lanes between Palm Avenue and Douglas Road. We're putting buffered bike lanes on the north side and the south sides of that road. Project estimate is $252,000. This one is supposed to come out in the summer of 2022. And this one, because of the small project cost, has a 0% CBE goal, but we still encourage you, if you're a CBE or an SBE, to still pursue these projects because they are things that you can go after and get, and we would encourage you to do so. And the last one that I'll just quickly mention is by the end of this year, we also anticipate putting out an owner's rep project. So we do let on demand start. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you guys have experience running capital improvement projects or roadway projects in particular, we'd be really happy to have you guys bid on that contract that's coming out. If you want any additional information, you can feel free to contact me or come up and introduce yourself at the end of this. Or for procurement related questions, you can contact Brenda Martin. She's our our manager for that side of the house. Our contact information and numbers are up there, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you guys have any. All right, perfect. Who's my next standoff?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natalie Richmond. I'm the procurement administrator. I am filling in for our director, Alicia Ayum. She's out today. And so I have her contact information up there. I'm sorry you didn't get to meet her. She's a very wonderful person, and so I'll do my best to fill in for her today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we procure here at the City of Miramar. And when we talk about the procurement department, we're talking about purchasing. I know sometimes I say procurement. A lot of people always say, what is that word? We don't know that word, right? So I like purchasing because a lot of people could relate to purchasing more and understand when I say and they always ask me, what do you purchase? The city purchase stuff? And I'm like, how do you think we get everything that we have, right? So here at the City of Miramar, our mission is to acquire goods, services, and construction. So those are the three areas that we purchase our items in. We purchase goods, we purchase services, and we purchase construction. Leah just touched on some of the construction projects that are coming up. Right, so here our mission is to acquire goods and services and construction effectively and efficiently while creating opportunities for participation and optimizing the resources of the city for maximum savings to the community. Because we know we spend taxpayers' dollars, and so we have to make that a part of our mission. So how do we do this thing? How do we procure? How do we buy things here at the City of Miramar? So we do this by different thresholds. Depending on the amount that we're spending or that we're estimating that we're going to spend, we have different things that we do for those amounts. So the first amount that we look at is $5,000. If we're gonna buy something for $5,000, we can buy that from anyone without any competition. If we're going to buy something for up to $7,500, we can buy that from our local vendors. And when we say local, we're talking about vendors that are here in the City of Miramar, vendors that are within the boundaries of the City of Miramar, vendors who are registered and have a business tax receipt with the City of Miramar. So for those local businesses or businesses who are here in the City of Miramar but do not have their business tax receipt, it is important that you reach out to the business tax office and make sure that you get that receipt from them. Because sometimes we have vendors that may come to us and say, I'm a local vendor, but they're not registered with the city. So that is a part of the qualification to be recognized as a local business. And so the preference here is it's $5,000 for everybody else, but because you are our local business here in the City of Miramar, you get up to $7,500. So you get a $2,500 bonus there, right? And then our next threshold is $5,000 to $10,000. Here we require at least 3 quotes. So we may reach out to vendors and say that we need to get 3 quotes from you. For the top one, the difference for the $5,000 and the $7,500, we just need 1. So the difference between these two is that we have to do a little bit more competition and we have to get at least 3 quotes. And then from $10,000 to $75,000, those quotes must be in writing. So that's the difference between the two categories, the second category and the third category. One must be in writing, one we can have oral. But here we always like to get everything in writing. So I always encourage departments to reach out to the vendors and get the quotes in writing, because at least there's no confusion about who may say what. Someone may say 60, someone may hear 50, and so we may have some back and forth there. Our next category is over $75,000. So this is a big category. This is where we have to go formal. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to tell you how we do that. This is where we have to formally advertise the solicitation. This is where we have to go to commission for approval. It has to be in a newspaper of general circulation. All of those things have to happen when we're talking about spending more than $75,000 here in the city of Miramar. So here are some of the ways that we procure. We have a request for quotation, and this is where we say, I'm just calling you for the 3 quotes, as I mentioned in the other slide. That is, we could do the request for quotation from the $5,000 up to the $75,000, right? We could reach out to you and say, we need to get 3 quotes. And that is what we call our informal process. Now, anything over $10,000, we may put this out as well on our Demand Star platform, which I'm gonna touch on in a little bit. So then we have the invitation for bid. When we hear IFB, that's what we're talking about, the invitation for bid. We also have request for proposal. When we hear RFP, that's what we're talking about, a request for proposal. And we have request for qualifications. When we say RFQ, that's what we're talking about. And these 3 types of solicitations, the IFB, the request for proposal, and the request for qualifications, are what we use for our formal process. When I talked about that over $75,000 there at the bottom, that's what we talk about. The IFB, the request for proposal, and the request for qualifications. Our IFB, our request for proposals, or request for qualifications, we have to advertise those formally. And this is where you may see we send out that big document. It's about 70 pages. Don't be afraid, half of it is just forms that you have to fill out. The main part and the most important part is that you go in it and see the section, what we're talking about, the specifications and the scope of services, because that's what we're telling you what the city is looking for. I know it can be intimidating because it's such a huge document, but most of it is just forms that you have to sign if you want a contract with the city. And also, when we are talking about our procurement process, we have, and Leah touched on this a little bit as well, some preferences in our procurement process. And this is applied during the competitive procurement process. First one we have is a 5% discount or 5 points additional for Miramar businesses. And again, local business. When we say local business, we're talking about businesses here in the city of Miramar. And so if you're a business here in the city of Miramar, you get that preference. You get 5 points. Or if it's in a RFP process where we're doing a point system, or you get a 5% discount. Next we have the 5% discount or 5 points additional if you are certified as a Broward County Certified County Business Enterprise or Small Business Enterprise, and that's what Leah touched on earlier. So you can visit the Broward County Office of Small Business and Economic Development. And if you have that certification in our procurement process, you do get a preference for that as well. If you have both, if you are a local business and you are certified by Broward County as a CBE or SBE, then you get both, right? You get the preference for both. Sometimes I may get a question if we put out a bid and somebody who is certified and they may be the second highest, because of these preferences that we have and the discount that they may have or may get because they are certified or they are a local business, they are counted as the lowest bid. And so I may get calls and questions and say, Natalie, but I was the lowest. And so I would show to that vendor, but you were not certified and you are not a local business, even though this vendor's price is higher than yours, because we have to apply one of these preferences, we have to count them as the lowest bidder and they get the business. So it's very important. It can make a difference. I've seen it many times. So now we're going to talk about where you can find the solicitations. Where can you find the requests for quotations that are over $10,000? Where can you find the IFB, the invitation for bid? Where can you find the request for proposals, the RFP? Where can you find the request for qualifications, the RFQ? So we use the Demand Star platform, www.demandstar.com. And if you visit our table in the back, we will show you and give you some more information on how to register on Demand Star. If you want to just register to receive solicitations from the City of Miramar only, it is free. They have different levels. You can register to receive information from one city or at the county level, and then they will charge you a fee, a small fee for that. Or you can receive, sign up to get solicitations from all municipalities, statewide or nationally. You pick what you would like, but if you just want to receive from the City of Miramar, it is free. So when you sign up at Demand Star, you will receive solicitations, and also they have the e-bidding module, which came in very handy with COVID last year, and we're still using it. It's a sealed process. You can submit your bids and your quotes right there on Demand Star. It is locked, and we cannot open it until the due date and time. So it came in very handy. We liked it, and we're continuing it throughout the time now. But this is good. And also, our website, City of Miramar website, is a great tool for information. So you would go on the city's website, and you would go to procurement department. When you go there, you can see our code and policies, a city code and city policies. That breaks down some of what I touched on earlier. It tells you the thresholds. It tells you how we do bidding. It tells you some of the things that we have to do. Also, you will see a link there to Demand Star, and what you could see there as well is a link to existing solicitations. So it will let you know what are some of the solicitations that we have out right now. What are some of the goods and services and construction that the City of Miramar is currently looking to procure. And another important thing that's there as well, if you do not know who to reach out to, we have a link there where you can email everyone in the department. So you may not be sure who you want to talk to or who you want to contact. It's 9 of us in the department. So if you hit the link that says email procurement department, everyone will get it, and so someone will respond to you. And speaking about contacting us, here is our contact information. We also have our business cards in the back if you want to visit our tables. Everyone in the department has their business cards back there. We're always happy to hear from our vendor community. We're here to assist in any way possible. Please reach out to us. Again, my director is Alicia Ayum. That's me right there, Natalie. And our main number is 954-602-3053. That's just the main number to the department. And here is the email link that is also on our website for you to email all. If you have any questions, I will also be in the back at our table. You can come on back and I will be happy to help you in any way possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Richmond. We are surprised and very happy to have one of our elected officials here. Commissioner Maxwell Chambers wanted to give words of welcome to you, so Commissioner Chambers, please come forward and welcome our business community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Anita. Oh, well, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. I just want to welcome all of you here, the city of Miramar. I'm sure some of you live in this community, but still want to welcome you all. And the great opportunity that we have here in the city. As you can see, it's a fast growing city. We're doing a lot of good things, and staff is so great with making sure we accommodate everyone. So I really want to encourage you to take advantage of what we're doing here, and not just in the city of Miramar, but also with Seaman, with other businesses in the city of Miramar and Broward County. It's a lot of opportunity, and I just want to encourage you and say welcome and thank you for participating today. All right, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anita.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Chambers. I'm Anita Fayne Taylor, Director of Economic and Business Development, and I want to say I'm very happy to see you here today. I hope this is not the last time that we see you, because we're hoping that you will take advantage of some of the opportunities, not just with Siemens, but with the city of Miramar. And after you heard Natalie give her presentation, you probably realized that Miramar is like the American Express of cities, because location has its privileges. But you don't have to be in the city of Miramar to take advantage of all of these contract opportunities. We have people in the back who are going to tables where you can obtain additional information. I have members from my economic and business development staff here. Johnny Douglas, would you please stand? He's our outreach person. And he's been nominated for the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce Pinnacle Award for the work that he does in our community. Claude Luison, would you please stand? He works very closely with our small businesses, those who are needing resources and additional information or how to register for procurement. He's the go-to person if you have any questions. He's also linked our businesses with SCORE. Some of you may be sitting here thinking, I wonder if I can really do this. I wonder if I can really do this. He can connect you with a SCORE counselor who can help you modify and look at ways in your business plan that you can be able to reach out and take advantage of some of these opportunities. So that's Claude Luison. Okay, and Tara Rumpf and Paul Giroge. They're responsible for a program that we have called BizFit. It is August 10th, and it's a virtual business fair. It's from 1 to 8, and you may be thinking, oh my goodness, that's a long time. But you can identify which speaker you will want to see and just log in and watch that speaker. And this one is COVID edition, right, Tara? Yes, yes. So please, we have additional information about BizFit at our table. And there was one other person from our office, and I don't know where he is, Clint Conliff? Okay. If he's not here, okay. And we have with us also, but she's not here, she's on leave, Dr. Karen Hollis. She's with our Business Inclusion and Diversity Department. So our office is here to help you grow. We do that through a series of workshops and webinars. And Paul hosts podcasts as well. So once again, thank you for being here. We ask that you don't leave, just please visit the tables in the back to obtain additional information. And we have a box lunch available for you. Thank you.
Paul.